Good afternoon, ED6317. I have really enjoyed reading through all of your research papers along with learning more about you and reading your peer reviews and reflections for Module 2 and Module 3. All of your assignments that have been turned in thus far for Module 2 and Module 3 have been graded and posted. I wanted to let you know that if you have yet to turn in your research paper, which was Module 3, it was due last Friday. Please go ahead and try to finish those up and post those as soon as possible. You were to find a few research based articles and then use those articles along with an interview where you create a reading paper. And the idea of the research articles and the reading paper is to help you develop an idea for a program that you hopefully could maybe implement in your community to address a gap or a need that you've identified through your research. So, most of you have posted your reading papers and research articles. You will use those and you will post those with your reading program that you are developing. What I would like to see you begin doing now that you have researched, you've written your paper, you've interviewed people in your community about specific reading needs. In Module 4, which you should have posted your Module 4 reflection last night. If you haven't done that, please do so as soon as you can this week. In Module 4, you will begin really diving into this reading program that you are going to be creating. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of get into Module 4 here. So at this point, you should have an idea of what your reading program is going to be. Hopefully, you have thought about how you might brand the reading program. Certain things that I'd like for you to do, we're going to put your reading program that you develop on in a virtual binder or on a site. So in order to do that, I suggest that you think about using the new Google Sites. That requires a Google login. Most school districts now do use Google Classroom and Google logins. If you have a Google email address, I would encourage you to just use that. If you need help with learning how to get a Google account, please email me this week. I'm kind of in and out of the office this week. I'm here every afternoon, but in the mornings I am helping with a community event with children. I'm working with crafts with kids during the day, only in the mornings, but I will be in my office each day and we'll be checking my emails so I can help you set that up. I provided you a Google site video on how to set up a Google site. So in your spare time during this next week, you might want to watch that video and learn how to log into the new Google Sites. So that's one piece. The second piece that you're working on for this week is the data for your CNI project. So you're going to use a Word document and you're going to share the procedure by which you will identify the appropriate reading program for your district and campus. So at this point, you should have interviewed last week someone at your district about your district or campus reading program. And most of you have posted those, and I've seen your reflections. After you have interviewed those people, I am hoping that you have an idea on what data you could use to evaluate this reading program that you're going to be developing in the next week. So you're going to develop a reading program to identify a gap or a weakness in your community. I'm hoping that you will take some ideas from the leaders that you interviewed, and hopefully they provided some data. That could be data from the STAR test. It could be data from the TPRI. It could be data from your district reading program. So if you are using a district reading program, such as Fountas and Pinnell, or maybe you have an AR program, how are you going to measure that this new reading intervention that you're going to develop, this new reading program that you're going to develop, will be successful? What are some ways that you can measure success? So you're just going to list those resources. This is a very short Word document. List any available resources and materials or curriculum and instruction that you might use for this. And you're not going to post links here. So this is just to help you kind of maybe, you should be at this point identifying what type of reading program you are going to develop. You should also be considering who the roles. We've already talked about the roles. You've just thought about your vision and your purpose statement. You're going to go back and maybe revise those specifically for the reading program that you will develop. After you have researched reading programs, you've talked to people in your community, in your area, and hopefully you can identify some data that you could use to evaluate the reading program, or data that you could use to show that this reading program is needed to support the reading program. And so you'll post that there. This is not a final draft. This is just to get your mind thinking about this. We're kind of piecing this project together as we go. And then once you have posted that for this week, please watch the setting up your Google site for an individual project, because your reading program you're going to post in a Google site. So you're going to need to watch this video. So that's everything that we're going to do for this week, which brings us towards the end, which is your last module here. The last module, let me get there. Hopefully we're going there, is your fifth module. The fifth module is the culminating project. This is where we're going to take everything and bring everything together. And so what you're going to do in the fifth module is you're going to go back and look at all the things that you did in module 1, 2, 3, and 4. You may revise some of those things, and you are going to create a reading program where you build an advertisement to market the program. You think about an assessment plan for the program. And then you're going to create a virtual reading program website that you've developed, in which you put all of the things that and you can go back and revise them. So we've already done the vision statement. So you might want to go back and revise that vision statement so it better targets your reading program. You'll go back and add the standards that you looked up earlier. And so all of these things, these assignments that you have worked on, you might go back and revise to target a specific reading program. Okay, and so I will post more information about that probably on Friday towards the end of the week. I hope that, hang in there. It's all coming together. You will create this website as part of your last assignment, and then you're going to present your reading program and your website to the class on June 27th from 5 to 7 p.m. It probably won't take that entire time. It probably will not take the entire 2 hours, but you'll present, and then we will wrap up the course. I hope that I know that it's been a lot of information packed into a short period of time, but I hope that you're gaining a lot from this class. Okay, I will talk to you soon. Have a great day.